Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're about to get into game number 2 between Avant Gaming and Sin Gaming. I'm still Spawn, joined by the very beautiful E-Jim. Do you want to defend your Leona?
Leona is good into Caitlyn. I'm adamant. That 1v1 at All-Stars all way back when, I should have won that, but I dove the turret. Not to mention, talking about AP Leona mid, I used to play when DFG was an item.
Yep.
Deathfire's Grasp, but yeah. No.
Whatever it was.
Yeah. Deathfire, who cares? The one that like amplified your damage and then like you just Eon someone, hit them with a DFG and then one-shot them in the ulti, but...
My favorite AP Leona stage was when Runic Echoes built out of a Sheen. And it amplified AoE damage. And you would max Q on jungle Leona, and she would actually clear so incredibly quickly with Sheen magic item, and then you get a Sunfire Cape and then full AP. And like back then, like
that's gross.
The old school Abyssal Scepter and things like that would amp magic damage, you just run in with your W, which is stupidly broken.
You get so many resists.
Yeah, and torch people. So funny. So incredibly funny. However, this isn't the time to reminisce because we're in the middle of a great series here between Sin Gaming and AV. Sin did manage to get first blood. They did it pretty convincingly in the end. However, now Renekton, Sejuani, Elise banned away. Rakan, Maokai, please beat Talia to follow for Avant Gaming.
Yeah, but Thresh also didn't hit the bench against Rogue. They are respecting his Rakan here, but the Thresh is still open. Sin are blue side, so Kalista being up, I would... If it doesn't get banned, as they ban the Gragas, Wukong immediately hovered. I'm thinking potentially a Kalista pick away here. All the AD carries are up, but taking away that from Blinky, it seems like when they don't have that champion, the bot lane for AV does struggle.
Although Blinky and Jake got better as the game went on, I think they were playing a negative lane, as you said. Maybe see if they can get something a little bit more proactive here. Do you fight fire with fire, or were you happy with the negativity?
I don't think so. I think in that composition, when they were full AD and they were going to get outscaled, in my opinion, I think picking a bot lane that just negates, I think the Morgana helping the Xayah stay alive to do damage in team fights, if she doesn't do much damage like a Kog'Maw, like a Tristana, then like you just don't have a lot of avenues to play through. I feel like you're kind of nipping yourself in the bud there when you don't have too much pressure in the lane phase and then you don't scale too well. And speaking of the Thresh, they do take that one away.
Because you can't give FBI and Rogue Kalista Thresh. That sounds like a death sentence, no pun intended. I'm really in this play-by-play rhythm right now. See what else they take with it. You know, Gragas, Maokai, as well as Sejuani. Zac is still available, is a legitimate threat, especially in the hands of Sybil, the old-school Zac player.
Yeah, he is the old-school Zac player. Very good Zac. But I think the smartest thing about this is because Sin... This is a bit of mind games in the draft, right? Sin take away the Kalista from AV first pick. Now, Rogue isn't necessarily much of a Janna player. He's more of an engaged Thresh Rakan. But you want to pick the Janna to negate the Zac. But then you also don't want to pick Janna with a Kalista because, like, what's she going to do? Throw you around? Like, you can throw them in and then Tornado and then
what you do,
nothing else.
Here's a thought for you. You don't bind to the Janna.
I don't like that. No, that's stupid.
Just bind to Juves.
No.
And then just lane with a shield.
No, that's not good.
This
is play-by-play Jake speaking right now, but they do lock in the Braum instead.
Hey, that's my job. Don't steal my job. I'm supposed to read out the champions of the screen. Why is it not good? I mean, you're not going to die in laning phase. You just said Janna does nothing with an ultimate.
What's the point of picking Kalista if you can't abuse her strong laning phase? If you can't proc the W passive, you can't get the extra damage there.
For Juves' sick engager. Xayah will be picked up as well as we go into the second round of bans. So Thresh Xayah, double Xayah picks, even though they've both been into Braum Egypt.
Yeah, interesting that they do pick that one up with the Caitlyn, with the Tristana, Kog'Maw. All these AD carries are still open, but obviously they are very comfortable on this one.
Twitch,
potentially.
Jinx. When are we going to see them in the OPL?
Twitch, Jinx, that have been played overseas, specifically the LPL, so potentially coming into the meta soon. But potentially their thought process with the Xayah is that a Kalista lane is going to throw a support at you, gank you with a jungle, and you have that ultimate on Xayah to be able to dodge that knock-up, dodge the instant CC, so you can live there. So that could be their thought process there, but...
I like it. Very smart people. LeBlanc, Syndra taken off the board. We'll see if Talia does follow. I feel you get 5 bans, and you should take away the best player on Sin's best champion. That's just my personal opinion, as, once again, a humble play-by-play caster, and that is why they don't listen to me, because obviously know nothing. 2 days, all my knowledge is gone.
You've just spent today roasting play-by-play casters and saying they're dumb.
Because
every time you say something smart, you're like, oh, whoops, I shouldn't have said that one.
No, that was just that I can't be a color caster anymore. Kled follows.
But yeah, they do leave up the Talia. Potentially they do pick it away here. But probably more likely to be a Corki, the LeBlanc ban, the Cassidon ban. Oh, no, they do take it away, so smart choice there.
And all of us, I want to see the Jace. I want to see the Jace out of Tommy. Back
Zed.
in Season 1 Worlds. Oh, come on.
That's better than the Jace.
I was going to say Season 2 Worlds. Do you remember Rapid Star versus Toys when Toys beat him? Orianna Karthus, Karthus Orianna?
Reverse.
That was amazing.
In a series like this, where these two teams really do not like each other, and then you beat someone on a reverse matchup, that'd be pretty cool. But
I know Zed Rumble locked in. I want to talk about the Rumble. I know that you said you didn't like the full AD comp into tank. Tank, Zac, that makes sense to me. So they pick up an AP mage, but no real tank. Juves will get tanky eventually, but not a, like, solid tank.
Yeah, pseudo tank with the Braum as well, but yeah, as you said, Rek'Sai, comparatively to the likes of Sage and the Zac, isn't going to be that tanky, but I do lock in the Shen.
Not a good matchup into the Rumble early, at least. You stole my lock in, so I get to steal the color point. However, when he does get Tiamat, is able to, you know, even the wave a little bit.
He just wants to ulti elsewhere. Rumble is very bad at pushing down turrets, builds AP, so can't whack away, melee champion. Doesn't want to be sitting in a split push side lane, so Shen stylistically is a good answer. If he can get the proactivity, if they can get a hook bot lane, a Zac engage bot lane with the Shen coming over the top, then potentially can bode very well for them. But on the flip side of that, if they have like the bot lane for Sin is very hard to gank. The Braum can block for the Kalista. You have the Rek'Sai coming in, the Rumble TP flanks are notably very good.
We were talking about things that can happen off screen and how they're OP earlier today. I was talking about Jinx auto attack. Look at the engage that comes out of AV. Taliyah, Zac, Shen, all flying at you. That is the longest range engage I think you can have in League of Legends versus a team that has Braum and Rek'Sai as engaged. That is hardly going to be reliable.
And I mean, they don't actually have anything to stop that happening. They don't have a Janna, they don't have a Gragas to cancel the Zac engage sort of thing.
Even a Morgana.
Yeah. They do have like a Rek'Sai knock-up. If he just happens to be in the path of the Zac, he can get underneath and just bop him out. But yeah, Rogue's going to be standing at the foot of Zac when he engages with his shield up, hopefully, and then banking on FBI to keep him alive there. But yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it certainly needs to be the Hodor that Sin needs to be able to survive through this one. See whether it does work out. Game of Thrones reference there for ladies and gentlemen at home that are playing along. I want to talk about Zed. What are your thoughts on the Zed at the moment? Has it been seen? Claire played it once?
Yeah, pretty interesting in the current meta. Metas tend to be fairly cyclical in that like you have like a hyper carry, AD carry meta, so you see the assassins coming in to kill them, so AD carries start playing more self-sufficient AD carries, so the assassins go away. But this is the return of Zed, I think, with a lot of tanks in the meta. You don't see too much, but
yeah, a little bit of an engage coming in here. So we're going to hold off the interview for now because all of a sudden Rogue is moving towards triple. Door comes out. He is able to land it. So we'll see whether they follow up with any damage.
Ooh.
No flash being burnt. I think that certainly would have been worthwhile. However, let's talk to the man that actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to Zed. Let's throw it to Serianne, who's alongside with Sin coach Bensel.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Bensel. There's a bit of a rivalry between Sin and AV. Because of this, was there any extra preparation put in this week, since this seems like a really important game for the team?
No. I did pretty much the same thing as I always do. I haven't actually watched the rivalry video. I was just watching AV's games, so yeah, I haven't done anything differently.
Well, looking at AV's lineup, are there any major concerns that you can see?
In terms of players or champions?
Either.
I mean, I always think, when I think of AV, I always think of Triple as their major carry threat, and if he doesn't get ahead early, that team tends to run out of gas, I think, so I don't know. I don't think they'll play through bot lane. They might try, but that usually doesn't go well for them against us.
Well, best of luck with the series, Bensel, and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks.
Bensel is absolutely not perturbed by AV whatsoever. I think that's even more insulting than, you know, calling someone out when you're like, I didn't even watch the video. I prepared as per usual. This game means nothing to me.
He's just the deadpan, like, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care about you.
Good haircut, though, as pointed out by production. They are but wheat to be cut down by our Scythe, as we see.
Scythe?
Scythe.
Come on, Jake.
Whatever. See, Juves move towards his Raptors, so started on red buff. That's a little bit interesting for a Rek'Sai.
Yeah, it is. Fairly interesting path as Sybil.
He's much quicker than Sybil, by the way.
He's struggling. Zac did get nerfed on this patch, so does have a worse time clearing. We'll smite this one up back up, so he won't die to this, I hope.
He also has double pot still available, it looks like, so he's just going as low as he possibly can. Flirting with danger.
But we did see the level 1 invade. The Braum Q did land, and I honestly would have liked to see them actually commit onto that passive to burn Triple's flash. in a matchup against an assassin like Zed,
Yep.
Talia will bully him around early into this matchup. Melee versus range that would have allowed Juves to influence that lane very early, could have flash on Burrow, potentially get a kill.
Although
Zed
he's still
definitely a
looking
snowball
for it
champion.
right now, so they go in. Flash is burnt, so
Ooh.
even though they didn't burn at level 1, if they did, that is an instant kill.
Yep.
So Juves could have even burnt his flash to get the passive down level 1.
Yeah.
And you can see that it freezes just outside of turret range, and if you're triple right now, you're a little bit upset.
Yeah, honestly, great patience out of Juves there that he didn't actually flash onto that, knowing that Triple had to flash immediately, respects that, so they get a summoner without committing
Comes
anything. So if
again.
they get this again, oh, nice. Nice knockback.
Yeah, so Triple obviously playing on the edge of danger there. This will now push back to him. That's why he's going for the recall. That's actually really well played out of Triple. Don't see it enough. So for those at home that don't know what I'm talking about, 3 caster creeps left alive on their side of the lane will push back to you for exactly this reason. You'll get the extra caster on the bounce wave, and you'll be able to pick it up at turret.
He's pretty low, the extra caster there, but he's
Did I
still there
explain
doing
that well?
damage. Yeah,
All right.
the bounce.
Yeah.
Play-by-play spawn lol. Tilt E-Gym. I can retire now. I can't teach spawn anything. Yikes.
Just how to, here's the bastard out. Just how to tilt people. That's Maxi, of course,
Oh.
at home. I hope you're getting a little bit better, mate. I don't think I've tilted you that much today.
No,
You've been
I don't
having
think
fun.
so. I've been having a great time there as Dokla didn't quite get the cancel onto series, but so he just TPs back to lane, buys himself a Ruby Crystal and a Pink Ward. Great team player, picks himself up a Pink Ward. I like that.
Yep, big fan as well, especially if they ever want to gank this Rumble top lane. You know, Zach Shen, they're not going to do all that much damage, but you're not going to go anywhere in a hurry against them.
Yeah. The Zac and the Shen into the Rumble is not the exciting matchup. I am a support main, so I may be a little bit biased, but this bot lane is actually very volatile. Thresh, very strong laner, as is the Kalista. And then Xayah would be a weaker laner than the Braum, although they are different roles. But if Braum Q ever lands onto Thresh, he's very easy to pick off. But in saying that, like the return damage, if the Thresh is the aggressor, then they have a lot of damage. So there's a lot of potential for a fight to just randomly break out in this bot lane. If anyone missteps in a trade and anyone lands CC onto a priority target, this matchup could explode at every point.
Yeah, the big thing for me is if FBI ever needs a shield off a Thresh E,
Yeah.
then, you know, the hook's going to come out. That's all right
Nice
right
blocks.
there, because really nice block, as you said, doesn't get him in turret range. That's what you want. Q
Yeah.
and E going to be on relatively similar cooldowns, correct me if I'm wrong here, but if it's just the Thresh play that gets Blinky in trouble, he's going to be in a little bit. That was the longest arm of all time.
There was a long one earlier today, but that is actually the longest arm.
I mean, you have long arms.
I do.
You are much taller than me, so maybe that's got something to do with it, but
I think that was a
even
bit
put
longer
your
than my
arms
arm.
to shame.
But Sybil is looking for this mid gank. I think he's in vision here. He's
Yeah.
going to get the stun.
Oh,
Flashes.
burns a flash. Very nicely done out of Sybil.
Yeah.
He knew that Ryoma had used the Shadow to go for some harass. That was dodged out very cheekily by Triple.
And both mid laners paying a lot of respect here. Triple flashing away early from Juves. And then Ryoma there flashes early so that they can't chain the...
He flashed early-ish. And what I mean by that is as soon as you see Zach's Shadow, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like you should get the heck out of dodge if you
Yeah.
don't have your Shadow up.
Potentially.
Juves goes in here for a little bit of a game.
Could have been looking for the outplay. Like, if Zach misses the Q, then he can do absolutely nothing to you, and Talia is out of range. But as soon as that Q lands, he flashes away so that he doesn't get pulled back towards the creep into range of the Talia bop and doesn't get a huge chunk taken out of him. But yeah, so both mid laners playing with a bit of respect here as Juves is really looking to force things for Ryoma. They're looking to get into the
3-man.
side lane.
Yeah, into the top lane. We'll see how this one works out. The setup is definitely there.
full
Dokla
HP.
has the ability to drop the ultimate, and he does. Very nicely done. All of a sudden, the ultimate is there as well. First blood will be picked up for Ryoma. That was pretty clinical.
Yeah.
However, now Triple has rotated over. Gets Juves back close to turret range. However, won't be able to get access to the wave himself. And that means it'll be a 1-0 and First Blood going over to Sin Gaming.
And that was just really great preparation and communication from Sin there. The wave is crashing exactly as Ryoma and Juves make their way to the top lane. Immediately pull the trigger. Dokla's tanking from range, already landed the damage as he overheats with his ultimate, so...
Oh, Dokla. Series actually goes mid lane because Triple's going to continue to push that one in. I would have ultied Triple and taken my own wave. That's how I would have got back to lane.
He would be kicked from the team. Just by the way, as an aside, just
I
letting
would
you know.
quit. You would be able to kick me.
Okay,
I
just-
would quit.
Mid-conversation, you're not kicking me. I leave. But yeah, they do push in that extra wave, and Shen catches the mid-wave.
Series does not want to be here, however,
really
because
doesn't.
you can see how much damage Ryoma does. Already got the early penetration coming off lethality, and only magic resistance picked up for Series.
I mean, yeah, he's sticking around. All he has is a Spectre's Cowl, so no resist. Says nice
Great
hook. That's
hook
a turret
hits there.
damage.
Able to get one turret shot. FBI does return damage very nicely. Death Sentence, obviously a very flashy play, but didn't do all that much.
It's actually kind of weird to watch a bot lane with the Thresh and Braum, where the Thresh is actually landing hooks, but the Braum lane is winning the trades.
Yep.
That's not something you see very often. If you're landing hooks in this lane, you'd think that you'd be getting the follow-up damage, but Juves is looking to make another dive play, and Sybil's on the wrong side of the map.
Although this is aggressive because level 6 has been achieved out of Blinky. Stand United is up and available.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't want to go for it, so he will smartly back away.
Yeah. Potentially just looking for the level 5 dive, and as soon as they proc 6, they were like, okay, no, we can't do this.
Yep.
They would have had the TP from Dokla to match, but as you said, the shield from Shen immediately would have been much more useful, as Sybil's going to clear out a cheeky pink ward, and both junglers have played a lot around this mid lane right now.
I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
As we see a good shove come in for Ryoma. As a Zed, you generally want to get up in, you know, either levels or CS as you tick over to, you know, the 7 to 9 mark, from my experience. Be able to assassinate people like yourself who run around on squishy supports.
You speak about squishy supports, but there's no Jannas and no Lulus in this game. We've got a Thresh and we've got a Braum, so more likely going to be looking for Blinky and Triple on the other side of the map there. But yeah, if Zed ever gets like a level lead or an item advantage, especially into something as immobile as the Talia, if he ever catches him out of position, very easy kill there. Very easy to chase her down. She does opt for the Storm Raiders on the reverse matchup. Last game, Ryoma did take the Thunderlords for the early lane pressure and did pick up a solo kill with it. Triple, on the other hand, does take the Storm Raiders for the extra move speed and the ability to move around.
See, Juice catches out Sybil. That's the nerf that came out onto Zac. However, now the rest of the team is here. He's going to go over the wall. However, Triple is there. Great use of the ultimate.
Triple!
That is absolutely amazing coming out of Juves.
And that's a new mechanic. That's not something you think about. If you're ganking a Poppy from the flank, you know as a professional player not to give it an E away, right? But new Rek'Sai ulti, I honestly haven't seen that interaction before, where you flank the Rek'Sai and then he ultis away. That's really well played out of Juves there. And
he knew that he could get hooked out of tunnel. He knew that he could get flayed out of tunnel. There were too many things that could go wrong if he used the tunnel to get over the wall. So I agree with you. That is a 600 IQ play. Right there, Ejim. You didn't think about it. That's only that's because you only have, you know, 115 IQ or whatever the heck you got.
How much IQ do you think I have?
I mean, you're pretty smart, to my knowledge.
I have no idea what my IQ is, to be honest.
But you got a pretty high TER score, didn't you?
What's a TER score?
ATAR score? What did you call it as a kid?
I don't want to talk about my ATAR score. No, I had a reasonably good ATAR score, but moving on from my...
Not as good as the other Chiefs members?
No, I had a competitive ATAR score.
Well, there you go. Why don't you want to talk about it?
Well, I mean, it just feels like a bit of a...
Humble brag? But I brought it up. I mean, it's only humble brag if you bring it up.
Moving on to the game of League of Legends. If we were Americans, what's your social security number, Jake? You want to give that one out on broadcast?
No, I got an 80 on my ATAR.
Okay.
Enter.
Enter?
Yeah, we called it Enter when I was a kid. And then, like, TER is the last 3 letters, tertiary education result.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well,
that's where TER comes from, I believe.
Speaking of T and R's, we're on Tournament Realm here. Tournament Realm with this game of League of Legends. My turn to play-by-play pun, but Jakey goes back and he buys himself the Moby Boots, whereas Braum on the opposite side picks up the Sightstone. So Jakey acknowledging that now that they have reached the level 6 stage, the Kalista Braum lane will fare better in the all-ins, even though they do have the Shen ulti, so he wants to be able to get around the map with the Mobies. Will be a lot quicker than the Braum.
Potential roam was there if he went mid lane. However, Triple did hard shove. The map is very much reset, and it's a 1,000 gold lead right now for the Sim Gaming lineup. We'll see whether anything does change as 2 members do head towards mid lane. 3, actually, if you count the Zac.
They have an opportunity here. The bot lane is shoved in. Do they? Oh, they don't connect on the Zac here, so...
That was actually much better play out of Ryoma this time. He knew that something was fishy, able to hold the shadow.
Yeah, that's a very common path where both bot lanes reset, and as a support player, you're like, Swiffer. They're going to come out of base. They're going to walk mid. They're going to look for a gank in the next 15 seconds. So
Swiffer then ignores you and dies?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less as Juves is on to Triple. 3 levels down, though.
He is, and he does get the ulti again, dodges out a lot of damage. However, Flick is there. Make sure that he isn't able to get anything else. That's the Storm Raider Surge. Of course.
Zooming away.
Yep. Triple not involved in the bet, so he's still allowed to use that skin.
Absolutely. Sybil is like, thank you, Triple, for getting caught in the river. I will take your wave. As he picks up a little bit of farm for himself in the mid lane and then trots off to his topside jungle as, yeah, Juves is finding opportunities all around the map here.
And Sybil, once again, is relatively quiet. It's one of my matchups to watch in this game because Sybil is much more well-known to be, you know, a big carry threat for AV than I'd say Juves is for Sin. People in the past have even said, you know, Juves is more of the shot calling slash motivational slash whatever else you want to say. But this series, at least, has looked incredibly good.
Yeah, great individual performance out of him here. It's hook, does actually land. Instantly blocked by FBI there. As we see the interaction once more, no root coming out of Blinky. His Braum Shield blocks it.
And you can see that because of the shortness of the window, the inability to burn something like the box, they can't extend the trade long enough than the duration of the shield. And that's really hurting them at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, if they're really confident and they know where Juves is, as soon as that happens, Blinky can flash ulti forward. But, I mean, that is a confident play. They would have the Shen ulti, and I feel like that it's definitely potential here, but they are very low. They don't have the bot side control. Sorry, their turret is very low, so they're looking to try to keep this one alive, not looking for too flashy plays right now. If they don't know where Juves is, they would be immediately punished, so...
Certainly could be. Juves gets some very good deep vision bottom side meanwhile, and this game is still very quiet, Ejim. 13 minutes in, 14 minutes in, still only one kill with a Z mid lane. You know, pretty volatile top as well. Not what we expected.
Yeah, I guess pretty volatile bot even as well, so... The matchups are a lot more tame than on paper they would suggest here, but I feel like the Z not being able to snowball the early advantage from that one kill does bode well for AV. The Shen pick, soft counter as the junglers do meet.
Sybil not looking at his minimap at all, gets outsmarted and jumps onto the lantern to be taken away. You can see he was searching for that ward over the wall and face checked him.
Yeah. But as we were saying with the Z, right? The Shen pick, soft counter, every time Ryoma has roamed, he's looked to go into the top lane because he knows if he goes to the bot lane, whoever he ultis on, whoever gets hit with a death mark, immediately Shen ulti comes out. Rumble has no way to cancel that, no CC. So they can't stop Shen saving the bottom lane. So a lot of teams, as Sin have been showing this game just here, focus the Shen. It seems counterintuitive, but you don't want him to influence the rest of the map, so keeping him isolated to his lane is what you want, and as a result, every time Ryoma pushes in the mid lane, he's walking into the top side jungle and Series has to concede, and he's lost a lot of health in his turret.
Certainly has, and you can see Series looking to get dove again. This time Triple was spotted going bottom, so they're going to lay down the equalizer one more time. He does get dodge zone down and gets a double taunt. But Dokla flashes out, and another kill picked up for Sin.
Yeah, every time they've gone top lane, Dokla has the turret aggro, gets out scot-free there, does have to blow his flash, but that's first brick for the Sin lineup here, and all those roams to the top side of the map really pay off, and AV, all they get is a consolation air Drake here, not much to punish.
And I don't even know whether they should go for this, because the tempo advantage is now firmly in Sin Gaming's hands. That's going to bounce off the turret. They're going to get bottom lane turret as well. Yeah. So the 2-for-1 special and only the air Drake.
But you do see that AV know about this. Their bot lane did actually start recalling before the dragon was actually taken down there. So Sybil was less to solo that one because they're like, okay, we need to get back into bot lane. Sybil is still around, ready. Looks like Sin's bot lane are going to recall here.
Huh. That's very interesting. You know, maybe they just got back to lane, so surprised that they go for the recall.
Yeah.
Is Bork as well as couple of daggers, so they mustn't have just recalled, they just must have backed away into Fog of War.
Yeah, potentially Juves is in base as well, and they do have vision of Sybil actually. Sybil hasn't checked the bush. He's now basing in it. He's realized he's on a pink ward. Oh no, he hasn't. He's just eaten to the wolf cap. Sybil! Look at your screen. It's there.
I mean, that's a couple of times I feel like Sybil's actually been looking elsewhere on the map, spamming some F keys maybe.
Oh, that's not, I like that.
What,
the little nom on the Zac skin. There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a fan.
New favorite Zac?
Yeah, I like that Zac. That Zac is popping. I don't like Carbon Zac skin.
What's Carbon Zac skin?
The
Swim Trunks?
No, it's the yellow one.
Ah, okay.
Not a fan.
I like the Swim Trunks. Hook does not land, so now Jake in big trouble. All of a sudden, they ult him straight away. They're going to actually Shen ult, so this could be a big 3v3. Taunt does go in, but all of a sudden, Great Wall. Equalizer cuts off half the lane, and he's absolutely ulted the wrong way, Blinky, so no feathers will go out. FBI rips the sticks out, and Triple, that's got to be a fat finger. All of a sudden, he has to flash away. They do manage to get FBI, and a great hook means that Dokla will be secured here. Couple of kills going across into the back line. Will be Ryoma picking up one. However, that is a pretty even trade. If he can get out,
Oh, hook misses.
All of a sudden flashing
Ooh.
forward, Rogue is able to pick up another kill, and Jake is in big trouble right now. They'll be able to pick up another one, so that is a 4-for-1 trade, and Sybil will most likely fall as well. Rogue is taking up that turret, absolutely going nowhere, and all Sin Gaming have just absolutely rocked this game apart.
Yeah, they burn the TP to keep Sybil alive here, but is he going to die anyway? No, series comes through.
Yeah, Ryoma still looking for him. Good ward over the wall.
Yeah, and they that was actually just really quick play out of Rogue there. As soon as the hook lands, or the hook misses rather, they immediately commit onto Jakey. They burn the Kalista ulti, get that pick, which is immediately answered by Series with the Shen ulti. They try to counter it, but they're just too far ahead. The Rumble lands here, a bit late because Series obviously ultis here. Talia coming to the backside, Zed gets to clean up. As you mentioned, Blinky ultis the wrong way, but very scrappy at the end of here. Triple potentially just mistakenly used his Zhonya's there. Juves doesn't get the knock up. FBI has to flash away, but this is great for Zed. Gets into the backline, burns Blinky's flash, and then picks him up anyway. And just a very sloppy end to the fight here. Everybody's very low, and AV just get cleaned up.
Yeah, and I like the confidence from Rogue. He marches past the turret, he picks up one kill with his Q, and he doesn't stop there. He's still frontlining the whole way, and they do manage to get the teleport out as well for Sybil's blob. So I feel like, you know, it's a confident play, but it's also continuing to push the mark that Sin Gaming is doing very well. So they grab bottom lane turret, they grab 4 kill. So back in line, good hook here. However, they will, oh no, that's triple. So they're going to be able to pick up FBI.
Yep. Cheeky kill onto FBI there, catching the wave. They don't have the priority. Sin probably pushed in that bot wave and then reset on the map, so didn't have positioning. Gave AV some time to get that place order, but are they going to lose a mid turret for this?
Yeah, we'll see. You can see Series actually marches forward pretty confidently. He'll be able to defend with Sybil in the side brush, clearing out some vision. So potentially the top lane turret going to be picked up for AV.
Yeah, they have left Blinky in the top lane, so he's just going to take this one down. They commit only enough members to stop Sin from pushing. Obviously, it's a 4v5 right now with FBI down. So with that pick onto FBI, they do net themselves a turret.
You've got to give credit because that's only a 3,000 gold lead. All of a sudden, Sybil gets 2 members in that big shove back out of triple. Then the slam together. Dokla does get the ultimate out, but the death sentence lands, and Jake is absolutely popping on Thresh. Picks another kill up for his team.
I can't believe only one person died there. They get the ulti onto both members. Shen Todd hits one. The hook comes through. That looks so clean out of AV. They had the Zac ultimate, the hook, they had the Talia bot there.
Ryoma now looking for Sybil. He will be able to get over the wall, which means that Sybil will live.
Ooh, Lantern saved him.
Yeah, it certainly did. I mean, that would have been a definite kill there. 160-ish health. Had a HP pot running as well.
Doesn't do much versus Ignite though. Ryoma did burn that one, so the Lantern from Jake does save him there. As this game starts to look like it's getting a bit messy, and I think that does favor Sin's lineup right now. The Zed cleaning up kills now, 302, has the Dust Blade, so...
Yeah, it's 6 of one, half of the others than the other, right? If Ryoma can blow someone up, definitely advantage in Sin. However, if he goes onto Sybil or Series, and then the Talia ult comes through, or the Shen ult comes through, the sloppiness will suit the global comp, just because macro isn't as important.
Yeah, and I mean, if the Shen... They just have to pick their windows between the Shen ultis, right? They want to look to half commit to fights, bait that Shen ulti, and then fight when that cooldown is down. Because whoever Ryoma goes on are very unlikely to die if that Shen ulti actually comes through. Landing with the taunt onto him, won't be able to commit too hard, but...
Adaptation out of Blinky because of what you're talking about right now, Bryce. He's gone for a Phantom Dancer as opposed to the Rapid Fire Cannon. Wants that one auto to maybe save his life.
Yeah, potentially. As he is looking onto Series here. Doesn't do any damage in the dodge field.
That ability is kind of what changed Shen on Summoner's Rift. His W, of course, used to just give him this weird shield that scaled with AP.
He used to be a support. I used to like playing him. Get the Q onto the minions in lane phase so you could heal your AD carry.
Engagement is now onto Sybil. He will be able to take that Lantern. However, does get tagged up by Rogue's Q.
Was a potential window for AV, but Triple was pushing away on the top side because Series forced out Ryoma in the bottom lane, and the wave wasn't crashed under the turret, so it would have been a 4v5 if he could have ultied onto Zac there and potentially gotten engaged, but they don't pull the trigger. Triple pushing out top side. Just playing the 1-3-1 there. The map just ebbs and flows as Triple pushes in one wave, someone from Sin goes to catch it, Series answers the Zed, and
Blinky took a lot of damage somehow, so he has to go back, and that might actually be the mid lane turret. Juve staunching right now up in the top side jungle, although he does get hooked. Good flash to get out of there.
Mercs saved his life there. If he didn't have Mercs there, Talia Bop would have landed into the flame, would have been a dead Juves there, but instead...
I can promise you this isn't the spectator's fault. Duskblade Zed kills people quicker than you can move a camera.
Series is gone.
Just what happens. See Juves trying to charge up there. They tried to force whilst they had the 4v4. Of course, Ryoma has no way to join that fight, but Sin play within their means. They're just waiting back, and now as Ryoma shows on, Triple shows on the map, will look to push in.
And here they can just block the wave clear here with the Bronze Shield. They do look for an engage.
Equalizer land. Juves all of a sudden on the back line. Dokla has tanked so much of the turret, but will manage. No, he just falls down and he knocks Juves back into the back line. You can see they're trying to take out the blobs, and they will successfully be. No, they don't actually get him. Sybil lives somehow.
He's going
and now Ryoma is in trouble. This could actually be the Baron play. Series short arms that. He had flash available. He should have been able to get Rogue, and that will mean a successful disengage. Hook goes wide. And AV, they nearly had it there.
And that was almost disastrous. The entire time Ryoma was split pushing in the bot lane, he was looking for Triple because he didn't want to let him wall into the fight, but he eventually gets there. They use the TP again to keep Sybil alive. Just short on the taunt, so they don't pick up the kill. That could have spelled Baron. They were very low, but Zach very tanky. Shen TP'd out of base, so would have been full HP. Could have picked up that one, but they just fall slightly short on a game-changing play there as just a few kills traded back and forth.
Yeah, and I think when you look at these 5v5s, we're starting to see how much more forgiving it is to play with tanks. SKT changed the tank meta because they could execute on all squishy comps. However, that takes a very good team. A team with two head-ramming tanks is all not that hard. Triple, however, gets launched on here. Great hook here out of Jake, and he's going to actually bring in Sybil, who mad lifes Ryoma out. He's still looking to live. Sybil flashes over the wall. I think this is too much of a chase. I think you just let him go at this stage. We'll see whether he's able to land this. He does not, and he's running back to the rest of his team. He gets out, and all of a sudden, Sybil, you're in some trouble. He gets him out of the Latin. He's going to be able to stun him up off the back end of that Brawn passive. He ults him, and Sybil, you deserve to die, and he will to that Rend out of FBI, and that just might mean Baron.
And that's just round two of being a hair short on the players. He doesn't get rooted up.
Great equalizer. All of a sudden, Blinky, he has to use his old Flash Harpoon, the strongest ability in the team. Means he has to take the Latin away. And that will, with two members dead, definitely be Baron.
Cheeky reference. Flarpoon is the strongest ability in the game. 90 million % slow there from Dokla as he flashes forward onto Blinky. Had no flash, had no ulti. Great play out of him there. Burns the equalizer to burn the ulti.
With Callista sticks in this, 3,000. I think Sybil's this is too hard to actually contest. Triple, however, goes for it. Will get ulted up here.
Zhonya's?
Goes into Zhonya's. Ryoma going to look to blow him up on the other side. Great use of the hook as well as the ulti out of Jake. Will save his mid laner, but that is a game-changing play right there.
And this is such a cool game right now. There's so many micro interactions that are happening. Sybil predicts the shadow from Ryoma, and then he gets his jump cancelled with the Lantern. Rek'Sai Juves knocks up the Lantern there, so Sybil dies for it. They get another pick onto Blinky. There's so many tiny little outplays that are going on that this series is popping off.
It certainly is. It has lived up to the hype, ladies and gentlemen. It is 6,000 gold. Baron buff is currently on Sin Gaming. However, it is certainly not over. We have to go back to the fact that, you know, Sybil is massive. Series is going to continue to get tanky. They're collapsing on Ryoma again. Wall goes out. Triple needs to be careful. However, Ryoma with no ulti is a little bit of a sitting down. Flash taunt out of Series will manage to pick him up. However, he looks like he's going to fall down. I mean, he hasn't got all that much health left. And Triple, Ryoma is absolutely styling on him. He's going to get out.
And they look for the pick onto Ryoma, and he doesn't even have to leave the wave. His team is pushing up mid and hib. They commit so many resources. The Talia, the Thresh, Xayah and Zach can do absolutely nothing against this. Breaking the base is so important for Sin's composition right now. They have the Zed, who wants to be picking people off, and as this game progresses, if they took the outer turrets and then the inner turrets and AV were combined to their base, Zed would have such a hard time picking up kills when AV are all in this short.
Good death sentence, however, and they flick Dokla back into the turret. However, he burns the equalizer. Health bars are so low on the carries right now of Sin Gaming, but with FBI still full health, they are confident enough to approach. Good damage out onto Blinky, and this might be the second base turret falling down in quick succession. I want to see an engage. Series back alive. Has ultimate. Here goes Sybil. He's onto the back line. Gets ulted up by Juves. And they fly in. All of a sudden, Series does get the taunt. Juves doesn't fall down. And Ryoma is on the back line. Doesn't manage to pick up a kill. Dokla still 1v1ing Triple on the side. And FBI will manage to pick up Series. Dokla still lives. Another hook lands. This team fight's just going to go forever. FBI cleanses that one off, and Triple has to run back to his base. Sybil goes back in. Guys, give me time to catch my breath. He slams two members together, and Blicky is able to pick up one, but Juice dives in and takes down Sybil, and that will be double inhibitor cleaned up, and Sin Gaming will finally exit the base.
And the never-ending fight finally comes to an end, and Sin have double inhib there. They don't choose to push onto the Nexus. All of their health bars are blinking. Roma is doing so much work in these fights. He flashed onto the backline there. He's trying to steal away another blue buff. He is so annoying. He's the most annoying Zed I've ever seen. He's getting picked off on the bot side, outplays 3v1, gets away, and then gets to push the wave anyway.
And this is a statement game for Tommy. I mean, Fish picked him up for Origin. He had a good performance there. Went to Rift Rivals, looked like an absolute rock star. However, AV still underestimated him. Gave him his Taliyah pick, countered it with the Jace. He smashes them. This time around, they take away Taliyah. He gets his counter pick, and he is currently 5-0-3 and styling on the AV lineup.
Absolutely, and Sybil was just getting so many engages off, but it just didn't eventuate into anything. The follow-up damage wasn't there. Blinky got too chunked on the initial push and couldn't answer back with any damage. As we said, Zed got onto triple, so he couldn't dish out as much damage onto the backline as he would have liked. As they're looking for these cheeky picks. Sin are just going to be playing it slow right now. You see Doka in the bot lane, Zed in the mid lane. They're just going to wait for these waves to push in and then commit onto a fight on the top side.
And this is really smart play again out of Sin. I can't stress this enough. This is no longer a scrappy team. They wait for the waves to be in, and they're going to be able to take down another outer turret just through patient League of Legends.
Yeah, and they, on the side of AV, have to give this one up. They don't get the engage they're looking for. Sin adequately respect that as they're looking for a Taliyah wall potentially. Sitting with Zac, they have such a long engage range. The Taliyah wall cross map. Zac is looking mid onto the Zed.
Yeah, actually goes onto Zed, and Zed will ulti him up. That means that he dodges out as well with a shadow. Gives it a little bit of a pause, and the last base turret now under fire, although Taliyah goes in. Triple really wants this one for his team.
Shield
They're trapped in a corner. Shield is down. Big flip out, and they get a two-man taunt. But at the same time, the equalizer is burning them alive. Ryoma will join the fight. He is exhausted up. They take down 2 for 1 right now, and it looks like Sin Gaming will have to back away. Although Ryoma, he still wants it, looking for Jake.
I mean, someone like Rogue who demands a Thresh ban, and Jake is just landing hooks left, right, and center. FBI immediately cleanses it away, but they don't get the win on the team fight. The gold lead is too much, and they're backing away. Do they commit to this?
You can see that Ryoma really wants to go in. He
Zed's
takes
ulti.
all of his health, but at the same time, Sybil re-engages. FBI is so low, but he's kiting out, and Zed has gone back into the backline. Has to flash away. He outplays Blicky and absolutely styles on him, but will fall, and now it's a 2v2. Jake and Triple actually going to look to pick up a kill there, FBI, onto Sybil. Triple trying his best. FBI, the hook goes through, but it's onto the wrong member. And all of a sudden, they're looking at Zed ulti.
What is going?
Shen ulti, sorry. And this is, why are you going for him? He just missed. I mean, I don't understand. Sure, you picked up the kill. Congratulations, but FBI.
Oh no,
Chocolate comes back in.
Series game
can't go anywhere. That will probably be the end of the game. You're absolutely right. Series is being chased out of his own base.
Taliyah's up.
Taliyah is up and available. Yep, 2 versus 1. Triple, it's all on you now, but you're getting absolutely roasted. Dokla closes out on him, absolutely staunching him into his own fountain. FBI is just free hitting, and no one will be back alive. Sin will pick up the grudge match, 2-0.
And that is an absolutely huge statement game out of Sin. The pre-game trash talk was absolutely fire, and they just 2-0 AV. Those endgame team fights, like, they just lasted for so long. Jake's standing here, he cannot breathe.
I am absolutely
You're a tomato.
done. You're supposed to give the play-by-play caster a break, especially when it's only day number 2. That's a travesty.
Absolutely not. Throw you in the deep end, and yeah. Ryoma got 2 ultis off in that fight. He got caught in the middle lane, and Sybil tried to snatch him away with the blob, but misses. And then on the back end of that fight, the only reason they won that, because he gets his ulti off again, it comes off cooldown. And he just outplays Blinky, outplays Taliyah, picks up the double kill, and then they end the game off it. That was... What just happened? The game just ended. There was 2 pushes and the game was over.
That was absolute... That's Sin playing the game on an absolute knife's edge.
That is...
I mean, they knew that they had to be bold. That Zed, once it gets down to the base, it's only going to be team fighting. So if they don't close it out early, if they let the tanks get their items, he's going to do next to nothing. So what do? They absolutely hard commit.
Yeah.
They just look to go in, and they're able to pick up a beautiful victory.
Absolutely. I mean, that is the most Sin ending to a game I've ever seen
Certainly
in my life.
is.
That was absolutely huge. And I just want to touch on it again. We've mentioned it. The second man on your screen here for Sin, Ryoma, AV disrespected him so hard coming into this series, I think, saying FBI was the only threat. And he, 2 games in a row on the Talia and then into the Talia on the Zed. Huge game out of him.
He's a bloody superstar.
He's
As
a
far as
monster.
I like the term franchise player, if you're going to build a team at the moment, you nearly build it around Ryoma. He's that damn good, and he leads his team to a 2-0 victory. However, to close out the night, let's throw it back to Hingers and the boys.
Thank you very much. Sin, too strong for AV, beating them 2-0 in that series. And that second game, whoa, it was all over the place, Josh.
Well, that game was like really like sort of slow and timid for a little bit, and it was like, oh yeah, it's a nice game from Sin. They're just accruing a small gold lead, and then it just went like chaotically like psycho. And that last fight actually went for like 2.5 minutes, and then everyone's just like, it's like a ping pong ball. You're just like watching it go bounce, bounce, like around the entire base. It was actually hilarious to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they did secure an early lead. They did put a lot of focus onto nullifying this Shen, and we saw Tommy got 2 kills, first blood and first tower gold, and you could see that this game was very slow at the start, but then as soon as Ryoma got his 2-item power spike, this game exploded, and he was having a bit of fun. You could see that he was having he was making some insane plays and getting out.
Yeah, my goodness. It turns out if you can take away his Talia, maybe you best just have to ban Ryoma actually from playing the game. That's the secondary possibility.
He's such a versatile player. And,
Absolutely.
It's incredible.
All right, well, standing by right now with Sarian is the support player for Sin, Rogues. Let's throw it to them now for the interview.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Rogue after that 2-0 win. Congratulations, first of all. There was a lot of trash talk coming into this game. How does it feel today being able to come out on top?
Oh, man, I haven't looked forward to an OPL game this much. Just having a team to shut up, like, that felt so good. Like, we always have a really big we have a really big history with AV, and, like, to beat them in the way that we beat them was, like... Yeah.
The analyst desk have been talking about how Sin's been on the upswing since Rift Rivals. Do you think that potentially the team's the strongest it's ever been?
Yes. Straight up, like, yes. I don't know what else to say, like, yeah.
Well, next week you'll be going up against Legacy, who are arguably the strongest team in the league, apart from Dire Wolves. How do you think you'll fare against them?
Look, if we beat AV today, AV beat Legacy. If we beat AV today, and, like, thing with FBI is I don't think he got out of bed yesterday. He was so sick. And today he's just sitting there and he's a zombie. He's in the grave. And we're like, all right, boys, we have to pick up the pieces. So you're just going to sit there with your door. You're going to play doorman. And you guys are going to go 0-0 and you're going to get carried. And that's what we did. Like, if we can beat Legacy, the team that beat Legacy, beat AV, AV, then with an ADC that can actually play the game, then, like, it should be easy, right? In theory.
Well, hopefully it works out that way. Congratulations on today's win and thanks for talking to us.
Thanks.
Some excellent
It
theory
should
crafting
be
there.
easy, right?
Oh
It should
boy.
be easy, right?
Oh
That is
boy.
a beautiful quote that I cannot wait to bring up next week.
What, you don't reckon they can easily beat Legacy next week?
Good luck, dude.
It'll be closer than AV, but you know,
Yeah.
confidence is key.
Oh man! All right, let's talk about this, Choo Choos. I know that first tower that Sin took early on in the game was something you wanted to comment on.
Yeah,
Let's
so
bring
I
that
just
up.
really want to praise how good Sin's macro players come. You can see Rek'Sai is already in the mid lane. Tommy is caught and coordinated with his jungler that I'm going to make a play top. We can see a nice equalizer and really just a simple dive. Doppler's pushed this lane advantage he's had over the Shen really well, but I just wanted to highlight, and this is also first tower, so you can see this is what really started Tommy on Zed getting really far ahead, and the game kind of exploded at this point, but it's just really nice coordinated play, because Rek'Sai was already in the mid lane covering for that tower, and Talia wasn't able really to do anything.
Unsung hero, though, I think, is Dockler. I think something we don't like, doesn't get enough attention because it's such a boring facet of League of Legends. It's just like wave manipulation control. And in both of those early dives, Dockler prepares the wave to like, literally a second like perfection. The wave starts crashing just when like Ryoma's getting there for the dive, and it means that like if obviously Series wants to get that like farm under his own turret, And both times as well, he's had really, really good ultimates on the Rumble, and it just made the dive like really, really clean.
Can you break that down? Because some people watching wouldn't know what wave manipulation and crashing actually
Yeah,
means. I know
so
Spawn tried to explain it in the cast as well, but just people watching at home now who might be like silver or bronze level, can you just like break down exactly what that means?
Yeah, so obviously every champion in the game can auto attack, but then obviously a lot of champions, how they like clear waves with their spells rather than their auto attacks varies. And so Rumble is one of his best attributes is that he flame spitters the whole wave, and he can push it in the, either like 1 second or he can push it over the course of 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So because he's the stronger early game champion, he gets to sit up closer to the creep wave and decide when all those 6 minions will die and when his 6 minions will hit the enemy turret.
Right.
And so
if
he does
can
that
time
right.
that-
Yeah. So when Rome is walking top, he decides his minion wave is going to hit the turret now, and Rome is there to ult.
You've played with a lot of different top laners in your time, Choo-Choos. Do you appreciate as a mid laner when you're roaming top?
I appreciate it a lot.
crashing-
I am a very big fan of winning other lanes, not necessarily my own. And Tommy probably did the exact same there. He picked Zed into Talia, which is a counter matchup, but he didn't really care about solo killing triple. He just ran up to the top lane. As you said, Dockler prepared the wave perfectly. The minions would tanking the tower for first 2 shots, and then he hits he hits some really good equalizers this game, even in team fights. And then it's pretty much Tommy gets a free kill. So yeah, I don't really think Tommy did too much. I'm kind of switching my whole mindset on this. I actually thinking about it now. I think Dockler set up these plays really well.
Well, speaking of the team fights, this game was just filled with like crazy team fights that went on for 8 minutes each. And in particular, there was a bot lane team fight. I know that started it all off.
Yeah, so bottom lane team fights, and as we just said, Rumble ultimates perfectly cuts off of AV's escape. Blinky ults backwards, like looking in all sorts there, bit licorice if you ask me. Triple walks up, drops his Zhonya's in the middle of the fight. Obviously a mistake, but here it's just go time for Sin. They can get behind the turret. Ryoma styling on all the members of AV, collecting the kills, lands a cheeky Q here, doesn't get the kill, but now he's literally doing his victory lap. He's running up around the inside blue buff, and he's preparing to walk around. Rogue flashes forward, lands a nice Q, and this is just when Sin really hit the gas, and they just they decided, our composition is coming online. We have the early mid spike of Rumble Zed. If we let this game go really late, this is when it could be chaotic and hard for us to win. They definitely had the power at this point in the game, and that's exactly when they just were ready to kill them.
I do want to credit. I know when pick ban that they were. Talia was sort of that pick we were talking about, if they're going to ban it, if it's going to be first picked. It really didn't get touched until the second rotation of picks, and AV were pressured to a point where they had to pick it, I feel. And I do want to credit Triple for picking that champion, but you could definitely tell that Tommy had this Zed prepared in this situation if it were to arise.
So speaking of the pick ban phase of the draft, it's interesting that Sin were still banning this Renekton against Series. I feel like teams have just been doing that for weeks now, even though Series last week, Played Claire did quite well.
Yeah.
Do you feel like, is it, again, that people think he has a small champion pool, or is it that people are just afraid of the Renekton?
I mean, one good Kled performance does not necessarily mean you're not a one-trick Renekton player. So I think that's probably maybe the mindset that Sin have. Obviously, a bit of bad blood between them, so they're going to hold negative stereotypes and stigmas against one another. They obviously still believe that his only comfortable champion is Renekton, and I guess this draft this draft doesn't prove it, but they show that this is still maybe a viable strategy against them.
Yeah, I definitely think the Renekton ban is worthwhile. A lot of teams have recognized that his Renekton is his best champion, so continue banning that one out. Looking at the damage charts here, it is very evenly spread alongside Sin, which is very surprising. I think that just shows that all the players really contributed in an equal effort to the.
Look at that damage coming out of Rumble. I mean, those are those ults we're talking about, right?
Rumble would usually soar over.
Yeah, that's not what surprises me.
Right.
Rumble has, as we
Rumble's-
mentioned, huge AoE damage, and it has the damage over time from his Q and his Leandries, and then the Deathfire Touch passive. So he just gets inflated numbers in team fights. Zed does only single target damage, and you're only seeing the same numbers. So that's a pretty impressive performance from
On the
Ryoma.
other side, Talia was really the only contender in terms of damage in the damage charts there, and it kind of shouts to me that Xayah was forced to get out of these fights so early because these equalizers coming out of Dockler immediately forced him to flash backwards or use his ult to just disengage, and that just shows a great draft coming out of Bensel.
Yeah, well, I think I also want to talk about the jungle here as well, because when you look at those two damage crafts there, they did similar amounts of damage, but I feel like Juice had a really good game. A pretty good series and a pretty good game.
That Rek'Sai player though,
Oh,
that 600
get it on the
IQ
Penta.
Rek'Sai
Get it
escape.
on the Penta.
I don't think anyone saw it. I was backstage with Carbon watching Honestly, he actually wasn't there, but he was a little shocked when I told him what happened.
Yeah, no, I think obviously in the Cinderhulk meta, we're not looking at these players to be hitting high damage numbers. It's more about what impact they're sort of having. And as we brought up in the replays and in just a general discussion, Juves was really impactful early for the first dive top. He covered mid lane for the second, roam from Ryoma, so that there was no way they were trading turrets. And then, in team fights, he was a really good frontline player. He interrupted a lot of crucial abilities with his knock-up. And, he just played really well.
And just on the other side of Zac is we never really got to see a proper team fight come out of AV. They drafted the Zac. Zac is probably one of the best engaging tools when you want to have a team fight composition. But I think Sin just forced this game and was so oppressive onto the Shen that they never really that team fight phase show.
Do you think that the nerfs against Zac in particular hurt Sybil's clear times this game? Or do you think that was not really a
No, I think that, definitely the nerfs target against Zac were because he's, as you just mentioned, a really good team fider, and late game he scales really well. But the problem was that Zac had so much power in his early game kit as well that he cleared jungle really fast. His first ganks did way too much damage, and there was really no downside because his health cost was super low. So now the champion makes a bit more sense. He's not completely broken. He has his strength, but there are negatives, which is as we saw, his early clear is not fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a look at the schedule for tomorrow. Chiefs are going to take on Regicide. Direwolves will take on Abyss. And as today's results, TM were not strong enough to take even a game off Legacy, and AV were 2-0'd by Sin. You know what this makes me really look forward to? Match 1 gauntlet, baby. Whoa! Because these guys are going to be playing against each other.
It'll probably be a rematch.
I know, it'll be a rematch. And no love will be lost against these guys, because obviously going into this, a lot of trash talk. And then Rogue, just in that interview, saw him say, look, it felt good to tell a team to shut up, I think were his words.
This is the first split. This is the first split that Sin have won both of the regular split games against AV. So this is kind of...
They lost the first regular split. They lost before they went to Rift against AV. AV won first time.
No, this is what she was saying. This is the first time Sin have beat AV. You guys are agreeing with each other.
He's right.
I am
so
right, but
this is the first. So this is the first regular split victory they've had against AV, which is
upswing.
Times are changing. Of a new era.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for being here, Jish and Choo Choos. I'd like to thank you at home for watching us, and we're back tomorrow with more FPL. See ya.
And they're chasing after Cupcake. Low will jump on his head, but Corky is now here. T-Gun with a double kill. A big shockwave absolutely whiffs her out of shock. That will be the jungler falling down for TM Gaming. Cupcake flies into the backline. A double kill picked up for loss. Kratos flies in. He's got the dodge field down. Where is the Orianna Shockwave? There it is. Only hits one, and I don't even think it got him because Tally was dismounted, and now Cupcake is in the back line. That's a double kill picked up for loss, and this should be game. And all of a sudden, Only is in big trouble. Shock will fall down. So many spears in him. He will get them ripped out, and a double kill picked up. Flashing forward is Tally. Low is in so much trouble. Burns the cleanse, but that is a quadra kill for the mid laner of Legacy Esports. Shockwave does go through. However, the ultimate is available, and now Praedyth is on the back line. He will be able to stun up Cupcake, although Low is just getting absolutely shredded. Not enough items to keep him alive. And even though Praedyth is ahead, he's not that far ahead. And it will be Legacy absolutely running riot. Their gold lead is too big. Tally picks up a double kill, but Tally flies into the back line. Absolutely one-shots Carbon before, T-Gun before he can get anything else off. And now Praedyth falls down. Shockwave absolutely whiffs, but it does not matter. Legacy in 31 minutes will look to pick up game 2, the series, and all 3 points. Big damage comes out of Juve, and Blink is able to get that ultimate. However, what a wall out of Ryoma. The man we were just talking about absolutely splits a team fight in half. FBI will be lined up and absolutely nailed into the wall, and he is dead instantly. Juice flies in, and he will fall shortly after. However, Jake in big trouble because Ryoma takes him out, although 3 kills picked up, and Blinky just gets blown up. Ryoma absolutely going nuts. Jake is in the middle of this, and Triple, unfortunately, my friend, you just do not have anywhere to go. They can't get series there. Triple gets stunned up. That's going to be 4 dead. They do manage to get FBI, and a great hook means that Dokla will be secured here. Couple of kills going across into the back line. Will be Ryoma picking up 1 lead. All of a sudden, Simple gets 2 members in that big shot back out of Triple. Then the slam together. Dokla does get the ultimate out, but the death sentence land, and Jake is absolutely popping on Thresh. He gets out, and all of a sudden, Simple, you're in some trouble. He gets him out of the land, and he's going to be able to stun him up off the back end of that Brawn passive. He ults him, and Sybil, you deserve to die. This team fight's just going to go forever. FBI cleanses that one off, and Triple has to run back to his base. Sybil goes back in. Guys, give me time to catch my breath. He slams two members together, and Blicky is able to pick up one, but Juice dives in and takes down Sybil. FBI is so low, but he's kiting out, and Zed has gone back into the back line, has to flash away. He outplays Blicky and absolutely styles on him, but will fall, and now it's a 2v2. FBI, the hook goes through, but it's onto the wrong member. And all of a sudden, they're looking. Zed ulti.
What is going?
Sin will pick up the grudge match 2-0.